welcome to Okon Bros. This is Eric.
And I'm Michael. And if you want to know the secrets of the universe, the law of attraction, mysticism, brotherhood, gambling, movies, pop culture, archangels, magic, business, health, mediumship, smash the like button and subscribe to our channel. Really appreciate you guys.
So today we have on Josh Petruna, aka the Suburban Beard. He runs a
Beard. The beard is strong with this one, Eric.
He runs a YouTube channel called the Suburban Beard, where he focuses on hunting, on retail hunting, on items basically to buy for pennies and then sell them later on or donate. Or we want to hear all about it because I think it's a really interesting time that you can make a living doing this.
Yeah.
So explain to me like I'm 5 with what you do.
So I'll step back, right? So I have an advantage on the reselling side. I've been doing it since 2002, just selling stuff. And most of what I sold is what most people sell, right? You're like, oh, I have an old cell phone. I have an old pair of shoes I never wore, and stuff like that. And that's where it started. So taking it back to finding the deals is, I think it was bigger in the 90s, maybe, right? Like the couponers, and you'd have the big book with all the coupons, and everyone's seen the TV shows with the crazy couponers and all that kind of stuff. And I hate coupons. I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to figure that out. I don't.
Why?
To me, I want to find a deal without the extra step.
Okay.
Right. And so maybe you could use the word lazy. I'm not gonna, I wouldn't deny that in that sense. Like, I don't want to sit there,
resourceful.
Right.
So
yeah. So, and what's come along as of recent, I think that it's become more prominent in recent years, is the coupons have gone digital. And so that's made a huge difference in the world, where I go into a Dollar General, I have their app on my phone, and I scan the item and it shows me there's a coupon. I don't have to go above and beyond anything like that. The research beforehand does help, like seeing what coupons are available, things like that. But to step it back even further is, I want to find something cheaper than everyone else is finding it for, and then buy it, whether it be for personal use, to sell it on a website somewhere else, or to give it as a gift and things like that. I refuse. It sounds more like a commercial, right? Like, don't pay retail. Like, but if you're paying full price for anything, you're overpaying.
Really?
Maybe a Tesla. It's probably the only thing you can't get a discount on anymore. But
Really,
that's mind blowing. So you go to the Dollar General, and how can you go and find things for a penny? Because I've seen episodes where like you can buy something for a penny. And what are you actually buying for a penny?
So the way, like the penny shopping is specific technically also to Home Depot, but that's a whole nother world to get into.
You can do this at Home Depot?
Yes, technically. It's a lot of work at Home Depot. I'll explain. It's so much work and so much explanation to explain to somebody the steps that they'd have to go through to accomplish that. I haven't even done a YouTube video about it.
Wow.
And I know it would do awesome, right? Because it's Home Depot, buy stuff for a penny. So the difference being, though, going back to Dollar General's own internal memo about this is, if you find one of the penny items, they have to sell it to you. It's in their employee handbook.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Okay. So, but the way Dollar General operates is every store clearance stuffs out, or clearance out items. So, like after Halloween, Walmart, it's like 50%, 70%, 90% off, and then it just disappears from the floor.
Right.
Dollar General does the same thing, except after 90% off, when it's ready to remove from the floor, they drop the price to 1 cent.
Wow.
Right. So now what's supposed to happen? So normally, because things always change and the way they operate changes. On a Friday, they send a list out to the stores. They say to the stores, hey, these items next week, Tuesday, need to be clearance out of your store. They're ready. They have their own terminology, obviously, of what they call it. But, they basically needs to be removed from the store and shipped back to the warehouse. Dollar General runs a tight, I call it a tight ship, in the sense to where the least amount of employees needed to operate the store.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times these stores end up one person, right? They're stocking, then someone's at the counter. They got to go ring them out, and it gets really tight in there. And so, but they're also expected to remove this from the floor, keep up with this, that, and the other thing, like any retail space. But it's the staff that they don't always have the coverage. So getting the list, I've befriended some people and met some people that give me the list, because it's not like Dollar General puts it on their Twitter feed, right? Like, hey, we're clearing this stuff down to a penny.
Right.
So I take that list, I find all the images, I post it up for everybody to be able to find it. And then you go in on Tuesday and all those items are supposed to be 1 cent. Things could happen as far as like a glitch in their system where it doesn't drop that low, or so you know, it's again never perfect, but you go in, you take your app, and if Dollar General app, you can scan any item in the store and it'll tell you the price in that store. And when you see it's 1 penny, you put it in your cart and you go check out.
So what was the best? Hold on, Eric. What was the best find you had for a penny?
So there's 2 parts. I found for a penny, some of the fun things to find, in a sense, like as far as the business side of reselling, like CD players, right? Like the Sylvania with the foam headphones, like Bluetooth speakers and stuff like that, right? So it's like the business side. The other side, it was actually a year ago this month. I'll jump real quick. Every now and then there's what's called a surprise penny find, which is something they didn't put a list out, but somewhere within their business structure, however it's done, they dropped a bunch of items to a penny. And the last 2 years, until this year, of course, the last 2 years, all these summer clothes dropped to a penny, and they never told the stores. So I went in and started scanning and I think I'm just looking at it, I think it's like 483 items of clothing for a penny each.
Wow.
And we all wear it to this day. There's t-shirts, shoes. I mean, well, it doesn't even count the shoes. That was just the clothes, like shoes. I mean, of course, keychains and accessories, you know, like random stuff like that. And like,
there's a stigma, excuse me, Josh, there's a stigma to like buying something for a penny, right? Like you think like the more you pay for something, the better quality it's going to be.
Yep.
Does that still hold true for penny items?
Not necessarily. So Alex, the other part of a lot of what also pennies out before, because let me separate it. So the other side, so if you find, like, let's say you buy only one specific razor blade and it's an expensive razor blade, but you know, say, hey, my face doesn't break out, right? Or my head doesn't break out, right? So, and you find it half price in the clearance aisle, you'd probably buy it at half price, and because you wouldn't know about penny lists, let's say, right? Or anything else. But some of the items, a majority of the items that are a penny, and this is again just at Dollar General, a lot of times it's their brand, their stuff, like on 3-month-old barbecue sauce, right? Like, that's not gonna work. But and in the reselling side of it, there's not a lot that I can like. They're dollar sandals. I got them all for a penny, and they have the new tags on them, but they all say $1. So the time and effort going into reselling. So I donated all of it gets donated to the women's shelter, or I have a place down the street.
You bought it for a penny.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter.
Exactly. And for me, a lot of that purchase is for the YouTube business, right? Like I need to show that in the video. And that's some of my biggest videos. If you look, like, sort them by views, my biggest videos are my hauls.
Yes.
What I bought, you know, and people love that. It falls in that same category of shop with me, what's in the box. You know, it's an adult treasure hunt. It's legal. Like, you know,
what would you tell someone who has never done this before and they want to go in their area and do this tomorrow? What would be like the top 2 or 3 things that you would tell them to get started to do this?
All you need is a smartphone. And the reason being, so
for a penny.
Right. Actually, this last week they had them for a penny, but they had but I think they were flip phones. So
okay. All right. Phone to phone.
Right. So, but you do need like an internet access. And let me take that back. You don't even need a phone that has internet. You just need like a touchscrreen phone that can download apps, because you have free Wi-Fi in every Dollar General. Okay. So even if you have a basic, you know, I think the Obama phone, they had a touchscreen. Is that what they called it? The Obama, right? If you need a phone. Right. If that's what you're on, it's no big deal. But just get a phone with a touchscreen, download the Dollar General app. On my website, the way I literally try to make this as easy as possible. On my website, when you go to the penny list for that week,
suburbanbeard.com.
Yes, thank you. And you go to the penny list, I literally have a link that clicks to a Google Drive where you can print out the penny list. So technically, if you don't have a phone, you're at home, you could print out the list on a home computer, right? Or you can screenshot it, download the PDF file or whatever to your phone. I try and make it as easy as possible for everybody, because then I also have visuals on there so you know what to look for. So, but easiest way, if you have that list and you look through it and you're like, okay, there's 3 different types of bubble gum. There's soup. There's whatever. You take your phone in, you go to the clearance aisle, and you literally just scan with your phone looking. And a lot of times what I do is I'll scan everything, because there could be, like, again, there's so many, every week there's more penny items, you know, not every now and then, of course, there's the one-offs, right? The weeks they don't have it. But I've gone in there to stores I go to twice a week just looking for deals. And then I'll scan the clearance aisle, and all of a sudden I'll find like 8 new items I've never seen a penny before, and they're a penny. But it could have been like a year ago, and it's been sitting in the back room and someone brought it out.
When was the last time you bought like a $20 t-shirt or a $30 t-shirt?
Never. Honestly, let me rephrase. Probably like high school. You know what I mean? Like, I needed the Tommy shirt when I was a junior.
Right. So, but that hat you paid nothing for, the shirt?
No, yeah. This hat, actually, this brand new hat that I got with the tags on it, was $1.50 at Goodwill.
Oh my God.
Brand new. You know, I'm not a sports guy at all. And I'm like, oh,
right.
It's blue. I'll buy it for $1.50.
But this like really is changing my opinion on things. So is it only with Dollar General? Or
so
can you do other stores?
The penny deals are Dollar General only.
Right.
Like, so, but there's so many things, like, okay, say I don't want to buy penny items, you know, because I do need to make the asterisks, right? When you go into Dollar, you don't ask for the penny items, because then the employees will be like, because you have to realize all this is supposed to be off the floor, right? Like, it's not supposed to be there when you go in on Tuesday. Right. And so when you find them, it's awesome. You know, now some stores, they'll, you know, they can try arguing with you, it can whatever, you know. I always say, like, don't call corporate, just smile and nod, because of the turnover rate. Within 2 to 3 months, there's gonna be new employees there anyways. And, you know, you can say, hey, I'd like to refer back to, you're supposed to sell them to me in your own manual, and be polite, you know. And
why don't I want to sell them though? Like, what's the point of this? Like, can you go and go, where's the penny aisle? It's there.
Right. Well, because it's just the clearance aisle. So they don't, like, it's supposed to remove from the floor. So part of it, and some people take it personally, it's a slap in the face. They didn't do their job.
Interesting.
You know what I mean? So, because the whole, like, it's just the way they handle their inventory that it goes to a penny. Why they do that? I mean, listen, if they really cared that much about it, they change it and make it $50 every time it clearanced out. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
And you know, something like that, or they change their policy. All they have to do is change their policy that we don't sell them.
How much would you spend on a random Tuesday at the Dollar General store?
Well, I'll tell you this,
if you're doing a penny haul, right?
Right. If I'm going, like, so I have a mapped out system where I hit between 30 and 40 stores, depending how good the list is.
Wow.
Yeah.
For the whole day?
Yeah. Well, it's so that's being at the first store at 8 a.m. and then being at the last store. This explains how close they are in proximity. The last store is at 2 p.m. I can hit that many stores.
You're in Cleveland, right? You're in Cleveland?
Okay. Yeah, west side of Cleveland. So, yeah.
Gotcha.
Like,
it shows you where Dollar General focuses. I mean, goes into a little different topic style, but it shows you where they put their focus as far as
their stock price is at $212, by the way. So,
and what?
Yes,
it's crazy. Some of these stores are literally less than 1 mile from each other.
Josh, I don't want to sound like a snob. I'm not a snob at all, but like, I've never been in a dollar store ever. I think when I was like maybe 8 years old, my mom and I went to a Dollar General store to get me some.
They have one in Amityville, and they have one in Lindenhurst. So they're all over.
About 20 minutes from our house. Right. But like, I've never been in there. I don't even notice them.
Yeah. See, here it's a little different. You know, maybe I'll send you guys a map. You can pop it on screen or something like that. Like, literally, it shows you by the areas. So by my house, within a 5 mile radius, I have 6 stores.
Wow.
Okay. But then if you go farther out into little different areas, there's literally, you can drive, right? So you don't stop and get out. Let's say you drive 1 mile, you can hit 17 stores in a 1 mile circle.
Dollar Generals?
Dollar Generals. That's how they're close in Walgreens and Starbucks.
Are you representing a culture here? Like, again, I'm not familiar with Dollar General. Yeah. Are you representing a culture here of people that only shop at Dollar General stores? I mean, clearly their stock price is over $200 a share, so they must be doing something right.
Yeah. And so, but I don't even think it's a cultural, like, so I don't know where
who shops at Dollar General stores.
It's a blend. Like, listen, not just, right. So my mom And she's like, I just never thought of going to Dollar General. And she's not posh. She's not,
Right.
you know,
neither away.
Right. Nothing like that. You know, I mean, my parents have done well, but again, they're not, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
my mom's, you know, she drives a 2012 Cherokee because it has 38,000 miles. She's like, I don't want a new car.
Right.
You know?
Right.
But I explained to her, like, let me change not the topic, but so on Saturday every week, Dollar General offers you $5 off $25. As long as you spend $25, you get $5 off.
Okay.
Well, then they have coupons for paper towels, toilet paper, you know, Gain. If you want, like, you know, the most expensive, you know, liquid detergent you can get, you get the Viva high-end paper towels. You still save $15 when you spend $30 total.
Jesus Christ.
All name brand stuff, and we're not talking Dollar General brand or cheap value, but none of it, right? All Gain fabric softener, all that stuff, all name brand.
I'm going to share my screen here real quick.
Okay.
Because this is really interesting. And you can see $5 off $25.
Yep.
Is that for any Dollar General? That's just in the Cleveland area?
Any Dollar General.
Really?
Like I did a huge video today. I just bought 200 LED Christmas lights for $5, 200 counts.
Right.
You know, and then I also got ramen cookers for $1, which are amazing stocking stuffers.
Bro, who the hell needs to go to like Peapod anymore? ShopRite.
It has everything. It has your ice cream, and again, I don't work for Dollar General. They don't pay me.
Cool. No, but they do good by you. It's truly, truly amazing.
Wait, now, Josh, take us back a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, have you always tried to find deals? I don't know what age you are, so I don't know. Like, have you always done this since you were a kid? Were your parents like this? Were they like always look for the best deal?
No, that's the thing. Like my mom wasn't a couponer, right? Like if she found a coupon, she'd use it. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this is a good deal type thing, but it wasn't like crazy, you know. And like, you know, I'm sure my parents had like struggles in the 80s, you know, and things like that. Because I was born in 81. I'm 39. I'll be 40 in January. You know, so
cool.
I'll explain where it was like so in 99 we started, like, is the first time I got my best Circuit City, if you guys remember that.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'll Circuit City.
They had a glitch in their ad and there was a deal for all the seasons of Seinfeld, and it was supposed to be something like, I don't know, it was like $80 or something. We were buying seasons of Seinfeld for $9.
Okay.
And then I resold it for $50 in the Plain Dealer, you know, newspaper.
Right.
Really?
And I'm like, wow, I can make money doing this, you know. And you fast forward a few years later, eBay starts growing. You know, I mean, I remember the days of eBay, to rephrase it into that, like people would send me checks in an envelope to buy something off of eBay.
Really?
Like eBay was the wild, wild west back in the day.
Have you ever thought of like white labeling your own stuff? Like creating your own products and like having like a store and stuff like that?
I've thought about it in the sense, and like we've done it to a point. So my wife handles the other side. She does all the Etsy stuff. She designs her own, like, you know, vinyl graphics and labels. And like, we don't have the little cry cut. We've got a 22-inch vinyl plotter. You know what I mean? So I can make banners and signs if we wanted to, and go down that road. And I've looked at doing that even with the Amazon side of creating my own product and stuff. And it's just, I looked at the investment return in time. I buy a product at 50 to 70% less the price. I don't have to put that time and money into reinvesting and advertising for that product. It's already done for me.
Right.
You know, so that's where I've never really, it's in the back of my head that it's something I should do, because I think you have the right product. Obviously you can just explode, you know, or fall on your face, but it's,
I mean, so the word that's coming to mind here, and I don't know if this is what you're doing, but is this retail arbitrage?
Yes, that same type of thing. So the main concept of retail arbitrage is that the other side, not so much with penny items, but I find an item that's selling hot. I found it on sale somewhere. I go and hit every single target and buy every single one.
Right. So you'll buy 100 candles that were originally $10. You're buying them for $2 each or something.
Yeah. And then reselling them for 20 to 30.
That's unbelievable.
It's crazy. Like, you know, like every now and then the biggest part about this, like if you get into the game, there's a lot of times where you sit on stuff. So, you know, I've got my 17,000 Christmas lights going up. I got all the decorations, but in my shed is also 3 bins of stuff I bought last year for 5 to 10 cents each. and I'm already reselling them at $10 to $15, like t-shirts and stuff like that, is because it's the biggest struggle of getting into the game is getting ahead to where like I'm ready now that winter's coming.
Right.
You know, I'm listing the Christmas stuff that's going out. I'm listing toys. I mean, at the same time though, that other love of mine is, as opposed to the retail side, I do a lot of bidding on auctions from like auction houses. And the stuff I buy for $1 is insane.
Like what?
Like old school working reel-to-reel projectors with film for $1 because nobody wants to do it. And then I sell it for $175.
Oh my God. Is this your day job?
Yeah. Like, oh yeah, here. So I'll pan. There's that storage.
Wow.
And then the larger products and items are stored up over there. Sorry if I'm rubbing the microphone.
I love that your office. I love that your office is your garage.
Oh yeah. Well, I want to get to that. I just haven't. I don't know what it is. I can't come to spend the money on a retail space since I have the garage. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No. It makes total sense,
dude. There is space for a Suburban Beard retail store.
Right.
There's Dollar General. And like if there's a Suburban Beard storefront on every corner of America, dude, your stock would be double of what fucking Dollar General would be. You have something so yeah,
like where do you want to go with this? Like what's your 5-year plan? You know, what is it only your YouTube channel? Oh, you know what I wanted to ask before we go there. Are you on TikTok? Are you on LinkedIn? Are you on any of those other platforms?
I'm on all. I even have a MySpace, right? I just wanted to capture my name everywhere.
Right.
I'm on LinkedIn, and I uploaded a video, my first video to LinkedIn, like 6 months ago, because someone was saying to do stuff on it. I haven't grabbed my head around it, and because maybe it's just because of what I do, and maybe I'm thinking about it the wrong way. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those like I bury myself. I call it burying it in work, but it's learning, right? Like I watch every video from every creator, whether you have 1 subscriber or 10 million, just to see what you have to say on the subject and then research it and break it down from there. And that's how I put this together. Because you look back, my original YouTube videos was all about thrifting. I was going to garage sales and Goodwills and doing all that for the resale business. Right. And I met somebody on YouTube who was doing Dollar General. They taught me about it, and he ended up stepping back. So I kind of grabbed the reins from what he was doing, and it skyrocketed. And that's, you know, I mean, I guess to go back to even your other question in the evolving of that is now I'm switching my focus. I'll never stop doing Dollar General and stuff like that, but switching my focus back into like the Target, the Walmart hidden clearance and stuff like that. And that's to just grow the channel. Because like when you search Google Trends, like when you type in Walmart and Dollar General, like it's millions of searches less. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so growing on that, like, how
did you start the YouTube channel? Like what was the seed that did it for you?
So it was last year. What year are we in? 2020, 19. Yeah. So January of 19, my company changed their focus and they downsized, and I got let go, and I was sitting on a ton of product, and I told the wife, I'm like, you know, at the time, like I'm almost 40, and I'm like, maybe I just found my market too late or what I wanted to do late in life. And I'm like, but not really late in life, but you know what I mean? Like not at 20. And I'm like, I want to do this. And she's like, let's go for it. Let's try it. You know,
and she supported you like that. That's our wives are like that too. Very supportive. It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, and she loves it. I mean, the biggest change with like that change of just going in and doing this is the dynamic change at home of me being here. Right. 3 kids, wife, a house, white picket fence. You know what I mean? Like, and especially it's one of those things. And this is that thing that got me hooked on the channel. We don't have to go way down this road, you know, so we can still talk about whatever, like the Archangel stuff and like getting into that. And like all of a sudden I'm home, and then the Rona hits, and I'm home with the family. Cause the week we went into quarantine, my wife was in the hospital, you know, and she ended up like, she had these crazy pancreatic issues, like strong, and she doesn't drink. So like they didn't know what was going on. So she's in the hospital. The next day they shut down everything, and the kids are home from school. And I'm like, hey, but like, what are the chances of me being here in a position to handle that?
Something else was in play for you to get where you needed to go. So going into law of attraction, where you believe in archangels, you believe in obviously goal making and law of attraction, right? So how did you get into archangels?
So
Archangels, sorry.
Archangels, yeah, sorry. It was, so I haven't read a lot on it. It was
You don't
more
need
researching like what was happening and trying to figure out why it was happening in that way. You know what I mean? Because there's luck, coincidence in that sense, but then it's almost too much constantly, right?
There's no such thing. Yeah, there's
You
no
know?
such thing as coincidence. I'm reading a book now by Damien Eccles, and he's like, could it be coincidence? Once you keep getting the same response over and over and over and over again, it's not coincidence.
Right.
Coincidence is happening one time and then not happening for the rest of your life.
Right.
The
Right.
stuff that's happening between us right now. How did you, I know you're like, you've been listening to our podcast, but like, how did you hear about us?
Critical drinker.
The drinker. Yeah.
Right. It was,
Yeah.
I stumbled onto him because of a guy I follow in Australia.
Really?
And, you know, and, but that's where the biggest part came in, like that hit. But then like, even last year, November, while I put my first video out, I think like April of last year. And I put out a couple of videos here and there, figuring, I was learning what to do, like how to edit, how to record a video. GoPro 5 was my first camera and doing that. And then it was one of those, like I was following other resellers and then stumbled on this guy that had 38 subscribers, is Alex Fatman the Flipper. And then he was interviewing somebody that lived about an hour from me. And I was like, oh, hey, I'm from Ohio too. Like, and I messaged him and talked to him, and we still talk to this day, and we keep in touch.
Awesome.
And it's like, from him, I learned the Dollar General stuff, and then I learned the growing stuff. And now I'm talking with people that have, 400,000 subscribers on Instagram that are like, I'm like, hey, I found this deal. They're like, oh, that's awesome. I found this deal. And like, and where it's growing to. And like, it's just, again, like that coincidence didn't make sense to me. It was just too much.
I feel like you already know where your channel's going to go.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
That's the feeling that I'm getting from you. Like, you're going to have
100,000
or 400,000 subscribers. Like you just know that.
Well, your thumbnails are amazing. You're a total personality. The beard is awesome.
Right.
Like, you literally make me not want to shave and just grow this big
Right.
fat beard and listen to like Clutch or Metallica or something. You know, like.
Well, that's it. That's again, like it goes back even a few more years. Or I when I started working at my previous company, I was doing like retail there and stuff like that. It was a cable company. So, but I met one of the engineers and befriended him. He moved to Thailand. Well, now he's in Thailand. We started talking about doing a business together now that he's not here, and we got into bearding and talking about all this stuff. And he just kept, he kept telling me, he's like, I know what you can do. You need to shut up and do it. Right. And over. It took me, 3-4, it took the push, right? Like if they didn't let me go, I'd honestly probably still be stuck there.
Right.
And I've always done my own thing and started new stuff and done fun things like, the Christmas lights and this and that. And, but it was like, I needed that huge, well, you're going to fail if you don't do something. Right. Because if you don't have money coming in, things don't usually work too well.
You really have made me really happy to hear that there is, because we were nervous that like when quarantine hit, we own a car service, we own a global car service. And like to hear that you can go and get,
you can make a living.
You can make a living doing this. Or, if it's going to get even tighter, you can go to a Dollar General store and you can go feed your family for $20.
Yeah. And the bigger push I had, so I'd been reselling, and then it was getting heavy even before, again, not coincidence, but at the end of 2018, I just was like, I should buy some more stuff to resell. Let's pay for a vacation with reselling, right? Let's just do that. Let's not come out of savings. Let's not, and then I had so much stuff. I was almost overwhelmed, right? Like working a full-time job is one of those jobs. Like if you're not there 7 days a week, you're not working. Right. And stuff like that. And so, but like, as soon as like I got let go, I had, a pocket of money that was coming, but then I had all this stuff like ready to go, and it just kept going.
Can you go back to corporate America after the last year and a half of what you've done, the last 2 years of what you've done?
I'll phrase it in two ways. If I had to provide for the family, I would.
Right.
Right. But beyond that, no.
Right.
I'd be unhappy. I'd be angry. It's more that, right, that angry at myself. Why am I here?
Right.
Do you have help doing what you're doing, or is it just you doing the shopping, doing the posting online? Because I know like the posting and taking pictures, that stuff takes a long time to get done.
That's been my what takes the longest for a lot of people to post stuff is the research of how to post it and how to list it. That is the one thing that I've been blessed with my entire life. Like I don't know if it's just because I read the Encyclopedia Britannica, not page by page, but like I know where
You have
to
a knack
look.
for it.
Yeah, I know where to look to get the information I need. And I know the words to use to find the information I want. I've always been good at that. And that's why I was good at sales. I could use the right words to get what I need to have happen. And so me researching a product, I can find it instantly and get things listed. But to answer your question directly, honestly, it's my wife. It was just me because she was handling like the Etsy side and her design stuff and everything else. But with YouTube, the way like she never thought YouTube wouldn't happen. But I'm like, listen, I know you can make money on YouTube. I know this can be done. I know I can do it. And from April to November last year, I didn't make a penny. And I was pumping out daily videos, and 15 to 20 minute long daily videos and coming up with new information. November 11th last year, I became monetized and hit the 1,000 subs. And then just a few days ago, I hit 14,000 subs.
Wow, man.
So, 13,000 subs in a year. Listen, I've always, as soon as I hit 100 subs, I'm like, I have 100,000 subs. That's
right.
That's just always been in my head. I'm like, 100,000 isn't unachievable on any level. 500 probably take a little bit longer, but
not with your personality and not with your brand and
great beard. Yeah, it's a great brand, and we're there now. I mean, I'm gonna look how many subscribers we have.
We're touching 1,000.
Yeah, 968, I think, when I last looked.
Yeah, we're at 971 right now.
That's okay.
Yeah, so we're touching 1,000, and like Eric and I are retiring when we hit 1,000. Like we're gonna make a penny a day. We're gonna go to Dollar General. I'm gonna buy myself an old
31 cents is gonna buy us 31 flip flops.
Right. Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, really and truly, you have to do YouTube out of labor of love, and YouTube is the new direct TV, right? Everyone has their own channel, and your channel, like when I did the intro, it's brotherhood, it's mediumship, it's law of attraction, it's movies, it's pop culture. That really is what Okon Bros is about. Suburban Beard, I mean, that doesn't have to stop at I want to say like penny pinching, right? Like that doesn't have to stop at penny holes. Suburban Beard is fatherhood. It's about raising kids on a budget. I mean, there's so much to your brand.
Yeah.
Have you thought about expanding that Suburban Beard into other things?
Yeah. So I've been working on, like, I guess I totally forgot about this. So part of that is the product. I have been working on my own beard balm and oils. It's kind of like, why not? Right. As far as my own product,
awesome.
We were going to start on like Etsy, eBay, just to see, if I can get things moving. But then so I have a lot of channels. So I have I Christmas Harder Than You. I have Manny the Mannequin. So when I started my, I guess, gimmick, right? So I have two of them. So when I greet everybody on the camera, it's YouTube's. I've always said YouTube, because the first time I turned on the camera, I said it wrong because I was just learning how to talk to a camera. And then all of a sudden I'm like, I had like 60 subs and they're like, you didn't say YouTube's. I'm like, I guess that's a thing. So that's what I say now, right? Like, what's up, YouTube's? That's my go-to. So, and then I talked to a mannequin. So when I was going, I'd record myself boxing up stuff from eBay and what I was selling, how much I sold it for, my profit, and everything else. And, my Manny the Mannequin was there, and Manny's been along for the ride. Like, I was going to storage units with, other like large YouTubers, and I'd carry my mannequin with me. And technically the mannequin won a storage auction, and the auctioneer's like, I couldn't really say no because everyone was behind him, and so I hit my Manny the Mannequin channel has like 120 subs. Right. So, and I have, what I've been focusing on though, is I have my other true second channel is Suburban Beard Chronicles. My buddy Dana helped me come up with that one. And so that's through help. I've gotten a lot of help. I don't know if you guys, D Niman, if you've seen him.
No.
If you ever have questions about kind of YouTube growth, awesome guy. But so chatting on him with the live streams and stuff like that he's helped me kind of like realize, like, I loved the daily vlog stuff I was doing. Like, like in my head, again, I've got 100,000 subs and I'm Casey Neistat, right? Like, even though I can't ride a skateboard, but he's like, with what your channel's doing and where it's growing, he's like, you have to cut that out. He's like, your sub base and your non-subscribers that keep watching your videos aren't here for that. And they may like you like that, right? And they may enjoy it, but when you're watching a video that says toys 75% off, they don't care you're getting your car washed. Do you know what I mean? And so I'm like, okay. And so that's where I started Suburban Beard Chronicles, and I've started recording I'll record everything throughout my day, but I've cutting down and putting it into like vlog form and doing that as well. And so that's where there's just so many angles this can go in the long run. You know, I haven't set a clear path, but it's the same way when I started YouTube. I love that in the moment, like you're doing something, you're like, oh, I just realized this. We're doing that now. That's it. That's my line right now.
Are you on TikTok?
Yeah.
Do you how's your following on there?
It's not great. Like I don't do a lot is the problem. And that's, I'll fully admit that 100%. I don't have a fear of TikTok, but so I have a wolf pack. It's me and three close to my friends, you know, and so they're in a lot of my videos, you know, and some people just come to see what they're doing and what they're up to. And, you know, our dynamic is different because we're different than everybody else in the couponing space, right? Or any of those discounts and stuff like that. So, but everybody wants to do something else. And we've discussed podcasts and stuff like that, but you know, they have full-time jobs, they have, you know, families and stuff like that. So I never put pressure on them either, but it's, what else can we do with this? And so, you know, it's just, I don't know where that next turn is.
TikTok, I could see you making videos on a haul. I think if you do your hauls, because you have the content already, right?
Yeah.
Take that content and then make it into 15-second or 60-second clips,
right?
And just one a day on TikTok, and especially like they have a thing for beards, and just like that, like there's a whole group of them on there that have beards and they're married and they're, you know, like just domesticated male, so to speak,
right.
like the three of us. And you know, I think that you would really kill it on there, really kill it on there.
I just started, so that was again D. That was one of the things D had not yelled at me. He doesn't yell at anybody, right? But it was like, hey, you know, you need to be doing this. And so like, for the first time, it was a couple weeks ago, I did a, like, I think my highest viewed video before then was like 200 some odd views or 300 views, and nothing great. But again, it was, you know, Dollar General was my friend's dude, you know, twerking in front of a Dollar General sign, you know, and like, that's part of my intro and stuff like, you know, just goofy stuff, you know, but I put out a video that was just, hey, this item is a penny. Go find it. It's a clear tote. Here's the UPC code for you. And that got like 1,800 views in a day.
Right.
Wow.
And I wasn't even in that one, but I started posting. I posted a couple more after that, and both of those got like 300 some views, you know? And so, I mean, it's super low in a sense, as far as like TikTok movement. But I know it's there. I'll be honest with you. What I want to do on TikTok is do the goofy dances. Because I'm just, listen, I'm a loud, in your face, goofy, and I talk a lot, right? Like,
have you always been that way, Josh?
Yeah. I don't,
as far back as you can remember.
Yeah, I don't, like, listen, I don't drink, I don't do drugs. My only struggle in life is I used to be at 2 packs a day, and you know, I'm still down to like 2 or 3 cigarettes a day, you know, and I hate it. And I know I hate it. It's just, it's that trigger when I have my coffee, and without my coffee, I can't live, and I can't take a shower without coffee. It's my only.
So the universe put us together right now. Our father had lung cancer. He was a 2-pack a day guy, and he switched to cigars, and he got lung cancer and he beat it. But the COPD got him. What I've learned is lung cancer was easy.
Wow.
Okay. Lung cancer was the easy part, because he got lung cancer. It was a death sentence. You were done. Anyone that I know that had lung cancer died. Okay. Our grandmother, 2 packs a day, died, lung cancer, within a year of diagnosis. COPD was 14-year decline of my father.
Wow.
You have to make a decision for yourself if you want the ending of your life to be horrible for your children and wife to see. No. Because I'm not trying to, like, you know, convert you, but I'm trying to help you here, man. Our father, the ending was ugly because he was going like this, smoking. He thought he was cool. Let me tell you something. You either do it or you don't.
Right.
There's no, it's 1 a day, 2 a day. You have the willpower to turn a YouTube channel into 14,000 subs. You have enough willpower to say, fuck you, cigarettes. I don't need you anymore.
Right.
And I'm just saying, I'm not trying to impose my will on you.
I get it.
But I'm just trying to help out. The ending is ugly for people with COPD. It was horrible. Eric, can you vouch for that?
Yeah. You know, listen, my dad was a fighter and he fought till the very end.
It ain't worth it, man. The cigarette, believe me, the cigarette ain't worth it.
Don't smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't smoke.
Yeah.
Got too much good shit going on. Don't
Yeah.
smoke, you know.
Yeah, and that's my biggest thing. Like I mean, I put on the Rona weight, you know, and stuff, and I've been
It's all
working that
good.
off
That's
and getting down. But it
just
was
cut
that thing
carbs.
where was it? We were hitting a bunch of stores, and then we were walking up steps, and I got to the top. I'm like, oh my god, I'm out of breath. I'm
you wanna-
almost 40, and I'm
want-
out of breath. I
You want
can't.
to see Corona weight?
You want to see Corona weight? Look at this. Look at these two. Look at these two hogs and heifers, man.
That's me with the sleeveless shirt.
And that's me. You can see my fatty liver right there in the picture.
So
I lost 50 pounds. Eric lost 100. We can give you a breakdown in 2 minutes on how to lose 30 seconds on how to lose weight. If you want.
don't eat
Yeah.
carbs.
Don't eat carbs. Don't eat carbs. Cut out all sugar, and the weight will melt off of you. You don't even have to exercise.
You already
no.
eat and drink, so
We're down about 10. That was my wife was in the hospital. We didn't know she went in. They told her she had type 2 diabetes.
Wow.
And when she was in, and then of course the Rona's hitting everything, you know, with processing, but that's because I put on the weight just from the stress of that in a sense, right? And sitting and figuring out like how to, you know, I mean, I'll bring it back into full circle, but like she's back home. I'm trying to figure out how to keep this YouTube channel going when you're not supposed to leave the house, right? And so, but it worked obviously, but yeah, it was in that turn now. And so most of what we started eating, because I'm down, I think 10 pounds from where it was. I think it was like 305, my biggest. And now I'm down like 295, 293, give or, you know,
Right.
and stuff. So, but because I just like, I'm following your diet. You know, I don't want to get that, you know, I don't want, you know, this and that.
Type 2 diabetes, from what I learned, I'm not a doctor. Eric is not a doctor. Type 2 diabetes is an allergy to sugar.
Yeah.
And you're eating carbohydrates, which turns to sugar. That's what's going to cause type 2 diabetes. Look up Cole Robinson on YouTube. Look up Tom DeLauer, Frank Tefano, even Vegan Gains. Look up these guys. There's unlimited information out there if you want to lose weight. There's no more excuse to say, I can't lose weight, can't do it. It's all there.
Oh yeah. No,
pick a diet and follow it, and the weight will melt off of you. And your
Right.
wife can reverse diabetes. There's no question asked.
Oh yeah, no, and we've even talked about that, and that's where, you know, like there's just the weight she's lost and the way, you know, how much better she feels now, and you know, like, and things like that, and like stuff that would almost cause her allergies, like don't now since she's changed her diet. You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
I mean, to give you a perfect example, so when we first started changing our diet in a sense, and then obviously it went awry, or she wouldn't have been in the hospital, but like she fixed her own vision. She no longer, she wore contacts and glasses her entire life until about 4 years ago. And now she doesn't need them.
Yeah, my vision got better too throughout
Yeah.
Eric was a
my
carnivore.
my weight loss journey. Yeah. If you really want to like have the weight melt off of you, don't eat any plant food and just eat meat. For 30 days, eat meat and drink water. There's a huge carnivore community online where they just basically eat meat.
Yeah.
And the weight just I did that for about 4 years.
Okay.
So
That's
and
awesome.
you lost 100 pounds.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you reversed your Hashimoto's. There's other things than just the weight loss, right?
Right.
Weight loss is cool. It's physical. It's, you know, you see it, but you know, I don't have asthma or allergies, and my allergies are much less than what they've been by cutting out the shit I'm allergic to. But I don't want to digress too much, but like you really have something so cool here. Your personality, the brand. When we saw that Suburban Beard pop up, I'm like, is this guy famous? Right.
Yeah.
Like, is he famous? This is like, it's like a critical drinker of like the Midwest contacting us.
Right.
Right. Like you really, you got something. Have you always had the beard?
No, I started beard. Well, I'll rephrase. So I've had facial hair like almost my entire life. You know, I should say I wrestled in high school, so you couldn't have it. Right. So as soon as high school was done, I was like, I want facial hair. And I've trimmed it into the Tony Stark look. I've done, everything you could think of. In 2015, I'd kind of grown it out. And then all of a sudden I'm like,
There's no going back,
keep
right?
going. You know, I mean, I trimmed about a month ago because I was down to here.
Wow.
And so it just gotten a little too scraggly, you know, a little too rough. I like to look a little more presentable for the holiday.
How long did that take to grow out?
A year.
Okay.
Yeah, it only took me, and that's everybody can beard, like I could do an entire beard channel, right? Like the type of oils that help your facial hair grow better. And, you know, people are like, oh, it never grows in here. And I'm like, I'll fully admit, if you work in a business arrangement in a cubicle, it's like, to show up to work for 1 to 2 months with a weird scraggly beard doesn't look good. I get that. You know what I mean? Or military. I'd never hold against military at any level for not being able to grow beard, right? You're serving our country. So, but if you can anybody can get through the awkward stage, you can grow a beard.
The longest I've gone was like 3 weeks. And then I'm just like, I can't take it anymore.
Does it itch you? Does it itch
I've
you?
never itched. But I've done the same, every night I oil and I brush out. And then every morning I, use my beard butter and then I comb it and then brush it out. And my skin's just always been soft. I've never like broken out under my beard, but I started that before it got long. Right. So when it was just like the full beard, just like this type of deal, that's when I started that, because I looked into it. Again, I did my hardcore research and dug in and drowned myself in it to learn everything. And then I'm like, well, let's try this out. It just kind of worked. And
what music?
For my scalp, I use Cranium. Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
What music do you listen to? You look like you're a hardcore. Like,
that's the fun. Like, I love the hardcore music. Most of what I listen to is, honestly, year round, there's usually Christmas music playing in the house.
Really?
Most of what I listen to is either like classical music remixes, so like with techno beats and stuff.
Really?
Or like weird one-off stuff you find on YouTube and stuff like that. It's such a strange mix. But I'll listen, I mean, I don't have like Guar coming through my playlist, really. You know what I mean? But like, like I'll definitely in my
executioner.
But you could literally hear Beethoven followed by Metallica, followed by Barbie Girl, right? Like it's just a mix, and like, I mean, obviously pre-Rona, like my wife and I, we went to the New Kids concert every other year in Cleveland. So it's
you're a teddy bear. It's right, like every manifestation of the word. It's
and
awesome.
I say like
such a nice guy.
I don't like country music, but I love bluegrass.
Oh, I love bluegrass.
Right? Yeah,
man. When I got Sirius, when I got XM radio before they merged with Sirius, my first channel was the bluegrass station.
Yeah, it was like
I love that.
I think, or something. Like
that. With bluegrass and then Johnny Cash. I was like really big into Johnny Cash. But you should listen to Clutch, because your beard will get bigger and thicker as you listen to Clutch.
Well, they're in my playlist. I've got them too.
Clutch that's my favorite band, and the Melvins. I don't know if you're a big Melvins guy.
I don't know if
the Melvins. All right, so the Melvins fired Kurt Cobain. That's how good they are.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, Kurt Cobain tried out for the Melvins, and he was their guitarist for a little bit. They have 2 drummers. Your beard will get even bigger and thicker as you listen. They're the definition of drudge rock, like dread. Like I'm a writer, and they have been so instrumental in my writing, and Clutch too. But your beard, I'm gray now, so like I don't know if I look like an old like Moses man.
I am too, honestly. So we were gonna do it for a bit, and it just failed miserably. Like my beard grows gray right here, so I have like racing street. Like, so if I'm like not in a bad mood, right, but I'm concentrating, I'm walking down, there's gray spikes right here, and I'm like, but
it's like Gandalf, man. It's like Gandalf badass,
right? But like, same thing, like I'm walking up, I'm wearing a fanny pack, bright blue shorts, yellow shoes, and I got Bill Murray t-shirt, right? Like, like if you think I'm in any way some sort of over aggressive bearded motorcycle guy, just
What are your favorite movies? I mean, since you're a critical drinker guy, and we're kind of connected through Will Jordan, which I got to email Will and thank him for this. But like, what's your top 5 favorite movies of all time?
All right, don't laugh too hard. So it's Holiday Inn with Bing Crosby, 1942.
Oh man, you're an old soul, dude.
Right?
You're an old soul.
Goody goody. And then Constantine, Keanu Reeves,
classic.
Followed by Limitless, Bradley Cooper.
Awesome.
There's something. It's like that boiler room. Like if I need to get psyched up, I watch that movie.
100%.
And then this one is, don't laugh too hard. It's the same feeling I get when I watch Limitless, but in a different way. Is Surfer Dude. Surfer Dude. Again, no one's heard of it. It's
I keep thinking of Surf's Up with the Penguins. That's not.
No. It's oh my gosh. I always said if I married a man, he would have been my husband. Matthew McConaughey.
Okay.
So and it's literally it's just like it sounds. It's a stupid movie about surfing, but the entire movie is Matthew McConaughey finding himself.
Love it.
And there's something about the way that movie, like listen, half the movie you can cut out, right? Like it's the goofy backstory and all this stuff. But the way watching Matthew McConaughey search for what's right in the universe is just amazing. Like if you can sit through the whole movie, do it. I don't,
bro. That's Tommy Boy for us.
Okay, that's amazing too. Yeah,
that's Tommy Boy for us. Just there's so much connection to that movie. And what's your last movie?
Then I always get torn. So there's a nostalgic side to me, and it's because of high school, right? The bonding with all my friends. It's Night at the Roxbury.
Dude, I saw that in a drive-in. I saw that movie in a
classic.
drive-in. It's a classic.
You know, but like in high school, like we did the 12 of me and my friends, we did, like down the talent show aisle to get on stage, and
don't hurt me.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah,
hurt
no,
me.
it's classic. Those SNL movies
They're
were that time period of
priceless.
SNL movies are just, they're on point.
Yeah. They're trying to do it today. Like, did you see The King of Staten Island with the new kid? What's his name?
I know you're talking. I think I have it saved in my Amazon.
Pete
Davidson. Yeah. No, I mean it was a Judd Apatow movie, but like the movies with Chevy Chase, the vacation movies, the Blues Brothers, Ghostbusters, like they're
the National Lampoon movies.
Yeah, you can't. Christmas Vacation. I mean, that's probably on rotation in your house, right?
Yeah. What's
the obsession with Christmas? I mean, it's the greatest holiday ever, but like, what's the obsession with it?
So years and years and years ago, I was dating someone, but I was living alone in my own place, and it was my first Christmas away. And not like, listen, I lived like 25 minutes from where my parents lived. You know what I mean? My first apartment. Right. So it wasn't anything like that big a deal, but I was just like, it's so boring here. Like, this is no fun. So I'm like, I went out, I bought a tree, I bought lights and put them up and stuff like that. And people come over like, your apartment's so cheerful. It's so much fun. I'm like, yeah, this is kind of fun. So then like, I met somebody, my first marriage, and, we had a house. I'm like, oh, I'm going to decorate. Let's get it all lit up. And I lit it up. And then people were like, you put a lot into that. Well, then I just kept adding to it. And, and then it got to a point where I'm like, well, what do I do now? But like, people were like, oh, I love when you put your lights up, because my lights go up in August and September. They turn on November 1st.
Really?
Right. So on Halloween, everything comes down, it all goes to put away. And then November 1st, my lights come up, and it's turned into, right, in the long theory of like, it sounds corny, I love how excited people get when they see my lights now. Yeah. Right. When they like, and because you pull up on the side of my house, you turn your car on the radio and the lights dance to the music, like the Great Christmas Light Fight type stuff. Right. Like, and so I love seeing that.
What I see about you is you genuinely want to help people.
Yeah.
And I think that's why you're going to have so much success with your channel, because like you genuinely have something to share. And whether it's Christmas lights or retail arbitrage or finding penny deals, like you want to help people. And that's, I commend you so much for that. And like, it's oozing from you.
Thank you. Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest, it's burned me in the past.
Who cares?
You know what I mean? Like going above beyond, like, to do this, but
to everyone though, John,
right?
Like, everyone's gotten burned by assholes, but like, it just makes you go forward. It propels you forward. Can you do? I've been wanting to ask you this for a while now. Can you do Disney on a penny budget? Is that possible? Because we're big Disney fans, but is it possible to go down there and have a really budgeted vacation?
So the trick is that, like, I'll tell you, like, I've dug into it a little bit, right? So, I mean, the main tricks, like a lot of people know, right? Like you drive instead of fly, and then the second half of that is you stay within a 20-mile radius of the resort, not at the resort.
Right.
And you look for those off beaten path cities that aren't as built up, but they still may have some restaurants, like mom and pop restaurants, so you can eat out. Mm-hmm. You obviously pack your food. Mm-hmm. The trick though is that I've learned over the years. So you can buy anything with a maximum of 25 Disney gift cards. So if you buy the Disney gift cards on eBay or discount deal websites, you can buy your tickets at a discount in the Disney store with the gift cards.
Interesting.
And so it's learning the tricks like that. Like, you may only get $5 off like a $20 gift card that someone's selling on eBay, but that's a $5 savings, and you keep doing that and pile up. But that's where the trick comes in, because they only let you use $25 gift cards to buy something. Because before they changed that rule, you could go into and book a hotel on site with gift cards, and it was unlimited. Wow. And so people would go in with 2,000 gift cards. Some might only have $1 on it. You know what I mean? Or something like that. But then they're sitting there scanning the gift cards. And obviously it created such a problem that
I would pay money. I would pay money to watch you take your family on this vacation.
That would be fun. That would
I'm
be
not kidding. Like to drive from Cleveland down to Orlando when obviously things get better.
Right.
I would watch that day one of the Suburban Beard Disney vacation. I would pay money to watch this.
it'd be fun to do the pre-planning, and record
Yeah,
that.
Yeah, everything.
Soup to
Yeah.
nuts.
Everything from day one, like a 7-day vacation. You have 3
You can
kids.
probably get it sponsored, or at least portions of it sponsored.
Right. Yeah. So we're waiting. My youngest turned 7 in December. And so we were waiting until he was 10, because then my oldest is still under 18. So
But how old are your kids?
It's 14, 12, and 6. Well, yeah, soon to be 7.
Boys or girls?
Girl, boy. Oldest is a girl.
Very nice. Yeah.
So, and so we're like, not that he wouldn't remember it at 6 or 7, but we're like, I just remember, I remember every family vacation after 10 o'clock. You know what I mean? Like when you're at 10 and stuff like that. And then he can also go on anything. There's no worry if he's old enough or any of that. And it's also like the handling, because Disney also has a lot of stuff now where it's not so much daycare, right? But there's stuff the kids can go to, and then the parents can go have a dinner or something. And so we want to experience it start to finish, because we want to do the all, right? Universal, Epcot, Disney. You have to. And I'll tell you, 1 week, there's not enough time. Because there's Legoland, there's Universal, there's SeaWorld. So Eric and I, our families are obsessed we love Disney. Yeah. So much so that we got places down there because we were going so frequently. We went first time, we stayed at the Animal Kingdom, and it was so much money. Yeah. So we said we might as well just have a mortgage down here because the kids had such a good time. Right. And we also have a lot of allergies, and Disney is flawless with allergies. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's great. And really and truly, we've been going down there a lot, but I would love to see someone go down there on a budget. I would love to see you do that. Really and truly. Day one.
We've been slowly, because I had looked into it a couple of years ago, but then we decided to hold off. So I just, stepped back and waited to see. And
the kids don't forget, by the way. They do not forget. I have a 12-year-old son and an 8-year-old girl, and they've been going to Disney for about 4 years now. Okay. They remember when they rode the Frozen ride the first time. They remember when they saw, Beauty and the Beast on stage. They remember that stuff.
Yeah. See, because I remember the first time we went, it was just because I'm the oldest, and I have a younger brother and then a younger sister in that order. And when we first went, my sister wasn't even born yet, so we were little, but I remember the glass on the door, because my mom rented a house from a friend of hers down there, you know what I mean? And they did it on a budget, you know what I mean? And then I remember the next time we went, and that's kind of still in my head, right? It's like we stayed on resort and we did this, and everything was included and everything else. And my parents never, ever had us see anything as far as any sort of struggles or anything like that, but you could just tell the amount of money being dropped. Yep. You know what I mean? You just see it. I was older. I think I was driving at that. I might've been 16 when we went, because my sister was old enough then, so we went, the 3 of us. And I just remember, I was like, it was such, it wasn't a struggle. We had food there, we had fun. It was a great time and everything, but you could just see, you know what I mean? The amount dropped on that.
In the Magic Kingdom, you can't get a penny shirt. I mean, I don't know if there's any discounts on Main Street. You're spending.
You're going to pay $25 churro. Yeah.
Right. But it's that's the memory.
That's the magic of it, though.
Right. No, exactly. And that's where we want to do it, because again, that's the way my head is, in a sense. I want to stay off, again, not with the kids, right? But if the wife and I went to Disney, right? Hey, let's try and do this. I'd want to stay that 10 to 15 minutes out and find that weird little restaurant with the greatest burger in the country.
They're all there. Right. They're all there.
I love the wife and I, we went to Florida a couple years ago. We were given a friend of the family, hey, no one's using our timeshare for a week. Do you want it? And I'm like, okay. And they're like, we don't want any money from you. Just go down there. We're like, great. So we drove down there. We just went off the beaten path looking for this. And we want to find the largest ball of yarn, right?
No, they're all down there. There's the Gatorland.
Yes.
Gatorland's just a zoo of alligators.
That place is a trip.
It's awesome.
It's incredible, man. But no, you gotta. I would love to see a Suburban Beard Disney special.
So where can everybody find you?
So at Suburban Beard everywhere, right? So you got the Instagram, the Twitter, MySpace, TikTok. I'm even on that weird Russian one that starts with a V. I don't. Again, I captured my name everywhere. That's all I was worried about at first, right? This is my name. I want it.
Have you trademarked it?
No. Because I started looking at it, but then where I was, and maybe I just don't know the right research or how to read. The one place
I have LegalZoom. Go to LegalZoom.com.
Okay.
I have an entertainment attorney that does this type of stuff.
Okay.
She will charge you for it, but
right, of course
you will own the name Suburban Beard.
Okay.
And she will make sure that no one else will use that name.
Right. good.
So
Yeah,
I'm just saying, if you want, I could introduce you to her, or you could try and find another local attorney that can copyright or trademark
But
your name.
you totally should. You have such a great thing going.
Yeah, because the first thing I looked at was like it was like $2,000, and I'm like, I can do this cheaper. There's got to be a way to.
Oh
like,
yeah, no, definitely.
And this was just on a web. Like this wasn't even an attorney. This was just some random website. Like, oh, it's $2,000, and then you have your trademark. I'm like, it also seemed way too fishy and complete and non-complicated.
Right.
Right? Like this can't be that easy.
Josh, you got friends for life, man. Really and truly. And,
we appreciate you. And just for everyone's frame of reference, Josh was watching one of our live streams and Michael picked up. Michael's like, he looks like he has a YouTube channel. And then we connected, we emailed, and he's on our show. So, we love collaborating with you. We love that you came on here. And
this is your platform. Anytime you want to come on, if you're getting that Disney vacation prepared and you want to say it to the world,
here it is.
Yeah. Come check out Suburban Beard. And everybody, go look at Suburban Beard. Yeah. Really great guy and amazing channel.
And you can definitely learn some tips and tricks on finding penny hauls, retail arbitrage, and anybody can make a living doing this. And I think that's what his whole goal is to show. Yeah. Everybody, please like, subscribe, share, comment, smash that remind button, that like button. We appreciate you all.
Go check out Suburban Beard, everybody. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in.
Love you guys. Bye.
Bye, everyone.